Welcome to Faculty Fireside Chat. I'm Professor Nick Barnes. I'm here today with my colleague, Professor Wayne Daniel Berard. Welcome. So I'm excited to talk to you about your new book today. But first, I was hoping you could tell our viewers and I a little bit more about your background, your areas of interest or expertise.
Well, my background. This is my 34th year at Nichols.
Wow.
Believe it or not, 34 years I've been here. My background, I think a lot of what I do and am and what goes into the book and my teaching comes from the fact that I was an adopted child and raised Roman Catholic, and to the point of actually going to Franciscan seminary for 5 years. When I was a very much younger man, so long brown robe and a rope and a hood, I look like a salt shaker, basically, And then when I went into my birth search in my 30s, I found I was actually Jewish, which is very interesting. That sent me in another interesting trajectory, studying Torah as a spiritual path. Wonderful rabbi in the area named Alan Ullman, amazing man. And that informed a lot of my work in terms of being able to see the layers. When you study Torah, you will spend weeks on one sentence, and seeing the layers and also relating these sacred texts to everyday life. Alan would always say, let's have a good, 1999 example of that. We don't look at each other like, what? So to bring it out of the book or the text and bring it into real life, all these beautiful pieces of wisdom literature. I teach humanities, literature, philosophy, religious studies, and bring it into people's lives and helping them to see the realness of it and the realness of themselves. So I think that's a huge part of it for me.
At Nichols, we talk a lot about interdisciplinary studies, but it's fascinating to me that you actually had almost two complete religious upbringings.
Yes.
Do you find that combination, or the fact that you are so well versed in two different religious texts or religious beliefs, does that manifest in the classroom and in your teaching?
Oh, absolutely. And also the other side of it is I got very thoroughly into meditation and kind of Eastern philosophy and religion. The branch of Judaism that I'm involved with is called Jewish Renewal, when sometimes we call New Age Jews, woo-woo Jews. We're very, very open. Kind of a universalist. You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of opening there to other things, and what it really helped me to see was the many paths up the same mountain, and how they converged in many, many places. So you're able to take out of your storehouse all sorts of interesting pieces that fit, and that allows you to center on the person or persons in front of you, as opposed to, here's the thing, fit in there.
Yeah.
I want to know, who are you and how does this speak to you? If you seem to have something that might fit a bit more with an Eastern bent, we'll go there. A bit more with a traditional Christian bent, we'll go there. Whatever it is, it doesn't make a difference. You're the center of this universe, and that's what my background in learning has led me to.
Speaking of learning, I wanted to ask about your classes, and I think that gives us a great snapshot into your philosophy and your background. I want to know how meditation became a part of your courses.
Very interesting, right? I've been a meditator for many years. Many years ago, when I was still working very heavily in Catholicism, working retreats, high school retreats, that type of thing, and realized that I'm doing a lot of work for God and didn't feel a lot closer to God than I ever had been. And on one of these retreats, I met this wonderful older man, my dad's age, who taught meditation and a prayer of listening, prayer of stillness, and he told me about it. And it was like water in the desert. I must have spent every Saturday for a year with this guy, drove him crazy. One name was Phil Anderson, passed away a number of years ago. He was a Roman Catholic permanent deacon. Wonderful man. But when I started teaching here in 1986, right, I was teaching in the writing program, which was only a year old in those days. So I scrapped the old way. We were allowed to do many things. And I did writing as a vehicle of self-discovery. Right? I did a wonderful book in the class by Sherry Huber. She's a Buddhist writer. The book was called Regardless of What You've Been Taught to Believe, There's Nothing Wrong with You. Including as a student, as a writer, it's in there. But that schooly self we all create just to get through the day, you're 6 years old, I don't want to do this, I just want to play. Let me get through this. And after a while, we forget that's what that is. It's a self that's been layered on over time. I wanted them to write from the real person inside who could do it. I knew they could do it. So we do meditation in class. I give them 6 topics We do a whole breathe the topic into yourself, see that, and then write to the paper, right. Don't think about it, just put it down. Then we'd have, of course, a conference with each one to go over all the grammar, punctuation. It was amazing how all of a sudden they were writing. They couldn't believe that they act, because a lot of it is about true self-knowledge and true self-discovery. And, a lot of people get kind of beaten up by the school system. By the time they get here, they don't think very highly of themselves. It's a shame. So when I was teaching other classes as well, kids who had me in writing would say, are we going to meditate in here? I say, sure. So we started meditating. I meditate with all my classes, 3 or 4 minutes at the beginning. It opens up the insides. It calms there's an amazing amount of stress and anxiety. You read these journals, the things that people are going through. My biggest problem as an undergraduate, there were two: maintaining my C+ average so I didn't get drafted and sent to Vietnam, and finding a girlfriend. But these kids are going through incredible things: the anxiety, finding a job, stuff at home.
So true.
And so it's just to let go, and it opens up, and people are more responsive to the learning. And it says, in this space you are safe. In this safe space you are important. Okay, what does this content mean to you? And it makes all the difference in the world. It really does.
So, speaking of centeredness and mindfulness, your book of poetry.
Thank you.
It's called The Realm of Blessing.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about how you arrived at this?
This is it. There you go. All right. I've been writing poetry all my life. Have always loved it. It's so funny because much of the poetry I had in school I didn't like. It was very Walt Whitman and Captain My Captain is lying. Oh my God, what is this? When I got into college, I ran into some amazing poets. Started writing myself, and over time started sending things out to publications. The internet made that so much easier, and at one point put together this manuscript, The Realm of Blessing. It has to do, and there's an underlying current of my birth search and what I found in my birth search, but playing kind of everything in that key, from love, relationship, meaning, but it's not distinctly about it all the time. And put the manuscript together and sent it out found this wonderful press recommended by a friend called Unsolicited Press. I think it's in Portland, Oregon. Amazing outfit that doesn't, they're all volunteers. They do it for the love of it. So they don't have a lot of overhead. And I sent it out. A friend of mine had been published there and said, you got to try these people. And lo and behold, one day the internet, the email showed up and you've been accepted. Oh my word. So there it was. It's my first full-length book. I had a chapbook published, a chapter-length book called Christine Day, Love Poems for my wife. But this is my first full-length book of poetry. So it's spiritual poetry with a small s. It's not necessarily religious at all, but it speaks to the human spirit, I hope. So, and it's been having a certain amount of success. It's fun.
Thank you very much, Wayne Daniel.
Thank
if
you.
you'd like to hear more, please check out The Realm of Blessing. I'm Professor Nick Barnes. It was nice to see everyone today. Thank you again for coming to
Thank you for having me. It was wonderful. Great fun.
Faculty Fireside Chat.
A poem for my students. Soon it will be time. Soon we will see each other walking across green and brick, and my soul will soar and say to itself, there they are, my dear companions. How I have missed you. How thinner is my learning, like thin leaves in August heat, without your breeze, your laugh, even the November showers of your complaints. I know they teach me too. The beach is wonderful, but the ocean is you, vast and deep and drunk with possibilities. And breaks are lovely, but vacation from the meaning of one's life? Long enough I have meditated alone, longing to see the supernovas of yourselves, overjoyed to read the journals of stars. Your voices push light through the most examined nights. Soon you will see me waving to you from across the quad, like someone meeting his ship coming in, because it will have, because you are.